A jungle that is inhabited with a tribe of natives, surrounded by a colossal wooden wall. Huge sharp rocks protruding out of the island's oceans, waves pressing against them. The island itself covered in thick jungles and mountainous areas, as well as a large mountain with a very distinctive skull shaped in the center of it, located in the middle of the island. Of course, the island that I am describing is Skull Island, the land where God did not finish creation. This island contains countless and countless of varieties of different prehistoric creatures and monsters. One such famous inhabitant, the eighth wonder of the world, King Kong. Its scientific name meaning Megaprimatus Kong, a massive gorilla of great power and strength. However, we will not be discussing much on King Kong, but rather we'll be discussing on some of the jungle's various species of giant prehistoric creatures. Join me as we enter in Skull Island. The island homes countless a variety of creatures of massive proportions that lurk in the thick brushes of the jungle as well as the lowlands. One such massive creature, FERRUCUTUS cerestus, name meaning horned iron hide, a large species of ceratopsian, a herbivore that lives in the deep jungle of Skull Island. They primarily feed in the lowlands and typically live in herds of 12. When it comes to some males, they can be very territorial and can become very violent. They have also engaged on other carnivorous creatures such as the VENATOSAURUS as well as the VASTATOSAURUS rex. On the other side of the island, there lived large sauropods. The Brontosaurus, name meaning Brontosaurus baxteri. After living on Skull Island for millions of years, in accordance to Skull Island, the ancestral Brontosaurus population on Skull Island had evolved to give live birth, usually in litters of 2 or 3. When threatened, they begin to stomp the ground, causing the earth to shake as a result. It alerts other brontosaurs of danger nearby. Another herbivore of the island that grazes the lowlands, the hadrosaurid, LIGOCRISTUS, name meaning hoe crest, were duck-billed dinosaurs. They were the most numerous of large herbivores on Skull Island. Being defenseless, the LIGOCRISTUS found safety in numbers. Nonetheless, they were staple prey for a great deal of predators on Skull Island. Speaking of the lowlands, there were also many different creatures that lurked around in the lowlands of Skull Island. BRUTORNIS, one of the largest of Skull Island's flightless avian carnivores, standing at 6 to 7 feet tall, an impressive predator that runs down prey in the open scrublands. Another creature, LYCAESAURUS, named meaning Kirk's wolf lizard, a gregarious carnivorous creature, lowland plains-dwelling garganopsid of Skull Island. They take a wide range of prey, feeding on anything larger than themselves. They are also known for luring BRUTORNIS mothers off their viable eggs. A protein source of melon-sized eggs are worth the risk of teasing such a dangerous, larger predator. There were also other creatures that lurked in the jungles. The DIABLOSAURUS, a species of heavily armored dinosaur that were nearly invulnerable. The treetops, another species of ceratopsian that lived in the steamy parts of the jungle and are known for its speed and agility. Another creature that lived around the coastal areas of Skull Island, the carnivorous TARTARUSAURUS, a fierce coastal predator that preyed mainly on the fur seals that seasonally inhabited the area. One such predator that lurks in the deepest parts of the jungle, the FOETODON, name meaning stink tooth. They are the descendants of crocodilian ancestors. The powerful back legs can launch them forward to crush whatever prey that comes near with their horrible jaws. Due to their poor eyesight, they are also considered ambush predators, and would attack anything that came their way. Another thing about the FOETODON is its appearance. The face and jaws are often covered with blisters and infections, picked up while foraging in the leaf litter. The bite force of a FOETODON could shatter bones, therefore if its prey were to attempt to escape, it would be unable to due to its injuries. They also have a strong sense of smell, allowing them to easily track wounded prey. The FOETODON is indeed a creature that would strike fear onto those unfortunate enough to encounter it. Although, there is but a species that are capable of taking out a FOETODON with ease. Deep in the island's jungles, as well as the lowlands, live a Tyrannosaurus species known as the VASTATOSAURUS rex, its name meaning Ravager Lizard King. This creature is another example of isolated evolution on Skull Island that lasted over millions of years. The VASTATOSAURUS were opportunistic feeders, meaning that they could exploit chances offered by immediate circumstances, without a general plan or moral principle. They are capable of digesting even the most rancid of meat, and their bone-crushing jaws allows them to crack bone and skeletal remains. They are also considered ambush predators. They often use the forest and brush around water to catch animals off guard. The VASTATOSAURUS mainly fed on animals such as LIGOCRISTUS, young Brontosaurus, and the FERRUCUTUS. The VASTATOSAURUS are capable of running in short bursts of up to 25 miles per hour. They also possess broad feet, an adaptation that allows them to stalk through swampier terrain than what its bulk would otherwise support. Another creature that lives in the jungles of the island, large dromaeosaurids, the Venatosaurus. True to their name, these ferocious hunter lizards are the most dangerous predators to be found on Skull Island. A top-tier predator capable of tackling the largest prey items Skull Island has to offer. Highly intelligent and social, the Venatosaurus live in packs of 6 to 12 full-grown adults and assorted young. Venatosaurus is far more intelligent than many of its fellow Skull Island inhabitants, and has a strong social hierarchy. In the jungle, there is many swamps and lakes around the island that carry many strange creatures, such as TARTARUSAURus, Udusaur, and Aswell. But there is one such predator that lurks in a dark green lake, known as the Piranhadon, Titanus, name meaning Titanic Piranha Tooth. Despite their name, Piranhadon have little resemblance to the actual piranhas. Instead, they were named for their carnivorous habits. Piranhadons were enormous ambush predators that could grow as big as some whales. They mainly took terrestrial prey that came too close to the water's edge, or attempted to cross the water. In addition, their facial barbels could detect vibrations that indicated the footsteps of animals approaching the riverbank. However, the Piranhadon's eyesight were poor. They couldn't easily identify underwater prey, and instead waited in the shadows to appear on the surface of the water to hunt. Often being plagued by the many parasites of Skull Island, Piranhadons took to beaching themselves to allow birds and small lizards to clean them off. Not being able to stay on shore for much longer, they would be taken by the sun's heat, which would then cause them to suffocate and ultimately perish. Piranhadons would use their powerful abdominal fins to heave themselves back into the water. Overall, the Piranhadon is a very menacing sea creature that lurks in the dark green lake of Skull Island. We now enter into the deepest and darkest parts of the jungles of Skull Island. On the island live some of the more strange and frightening creatures. On this island, it can not only hold wonders, but nightmares as well. The creatures that lurk in the shadows and dwell in the darkest caves live insects of massive size. One such prehistoric insect, the SCORPIO-PEDE, a species of creature descended of the common ancestor of the centipede. They were equipped with a venomous tail that could cause discomfort to large dinosaurs and quickly kill smaller animals. Deep in the chasms of Skull Island, massive creatures such as the nightmarish arachno. It resembles a mixture of a crayfish, a spider, and overall our massive nightmares come to life, with large carnivorous pinchers. Another frightening creature is the DEPLECTOR. They live in the cracks and crevices of Skull Island. They are massive terrestrial crabs that surprise their prey by hiding in small caves and grabbing them when they come nearby. In the bottom of the chasms live massive larvae-like creatures, the CARNICTIS, a large worm-like creature that were ancestors to the tapeworms. They are blind, however. When devouring their prey, it attaches to its prey with its maw and eats them up alive. Another creature that lurks in the chasms is the DECARNOCIMEX. They feed on the corpses of smaller animals, scavenging their meals from anything they can find. They are also known to be aggressive predators and will readily attack anything that gets in their way. In the deepest parts of the caves live large, frightening flying rodents, the TERAPUSMORDAX, possibly one of the largest flying mammals of all time. It has a body length of 3 to 4 feet, a wingspan of 8 to 10 feet, totally hairless, with a translucent naked skin, and strong bones for its size. The most notable feature about the TERAPUSMORDAX is its eye-watering sting. Its waste contains chemicals that cause an incredibly pungent smell. The TERAPUSMORDAX is indeed a creature that should be stayed away from. The strange, nightmarish wonder that is Skull Island was indeed a home of various prehistoric creatures of massive size and frightening appearances. Unfortunately for them, the island itself wouldn't stay up for much longer. A powerful earthquake shook the entire island, causing great destruction. Ultimately, the quake caused the island to sink to the bottom of the ocean, taking everything down with it. Once the island itself sank to the bottom, there were no remains of any creatures that survived from the island. The island that once held many bizarre prehistoric creatures, now gone and forgotten. Fortunately enough, the island was well documented with many of its creatures and environment. And now to this day, Skull Island is now remembered as the island where God did not finish creation.